Good morning, soccer mom of one. Ryland, good morning. Jennifer, good morning. Hope we are all doing well. KS, good morning. Debbie Smith, watching from Memphis, Tennessee. Good morning. Morning, Thyroid. Morning, Will. Hope you're good, my man. Well, I'm doing as good as I can. As good as I can. And thank you. Soccer mom of one. Anything and everything. Never lose hope. Good morning, Mary T. I did not pick an actual topic for this, so I thought we'd kind of go through a little bit of what's making news, touch on technical issues that have been coming up with StreamYard and with YouTube, and then we'd go from there. I made notes, but my son has decided that, I don't know if you can see that, the scribble all over it. He decided that Daddy needed to have more lines on his paper, so he colored it all for me with a pen. Do the topic crime. Duh. We're gonna cover some crime stories that are in the news, updates on Vallow and everybody. Well, I shouldn't say everybody. We're going to do some. I'll start. We got snow this week in Niagara Falls. We still have swimming weather. Wow. Snow in Niagara Falls. That doesn't sound good. Well, then again, let's see here. It's September, so it's about normal right in there to get snow, isn't it? I know, in upper parts of Wisconsin, Minnesota, September. Usually towards the end of August is when we'd normally sometimes get snow. Ryland is in Melbourne, Florida. I have never been to Melbourne, Florida. Kathy Drew, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. 1 second here. Gotta close out some windows here. Okay, there we go. I'm back. Had to close out some stuff. Good morning, K-Love. Colleen Ellis. It's 83 outside here in Alabama. Right now, where I am in Washington State, which is on fire. Everything around me is on fire. It is 76 degrees right now where I am. '83 in Alabama is good as long as it's not on fire, right? So, all right, jump on into this. So here's the technical issues that we're having, and it's not just me. I'm guessing it's anybody and everybody who uses StreamYards And anybody and everybody who makes content and uploads it to more than one channel or venue besides YouTube, maybe you make a video and you upload it to a YouTube group, YouTube, and you're uploading it to a Facebook group. YouTube, in their infinite wisdom, has decided that there is so many videos, millions and millions of videos that are being uploaded every day in 4K and in Ultra HD. So they've decided that in their infinite wisdom, since they don't have the capacity to be able to take in all this new technology and all these new streams, some videos randomly, completely from what we can understand and what YouTube has actually replied back to us at, is they've decided that some videos don't necessarily need to be uploaded in 4K. They'll do them in HD. They'll put them in closed caption if you have closed caption option clicked on. But they've decided that they don't, we just don't have the capacity right now. The servers that are taking in 4K are overloaded. And every time they do this, they never tell you on the screen. They never tell you in the upload. They never even give you a message to tell you that they've decided that you have been selected to get screwed and you're going to be in 1080 or you're going to be in 2K instead of 4K. And every time it happens, you'll see the video. It'll start off and picture quality is perfect. Sound is perfect. And then all of a sudden, it drops. The quality of video will drop from what you're watching on your phone, your tablet, your computer. You'll see the quality of the picture drop. You'll see the audio drop. And this is what happened randomly to my video yesterday on Lori Vallow and the court. You can crank that volume and it still sounds like I'm whispering to you because they decided that they wanted to do that. And of course, I didn't know anything about it until after, people started telling me, hey, by the way, your video, the volume is way too low. I can't fix it. The only way I can correct that is to delete the video and then re-upload it again. And then I have to go through the appeals process because everything that I upload to YouTube is automatically marked as limited in ability to be monetized. And so I upload it, it's already yellow flagged. From the moment that it's yellow flagged, then I have to appeal for them to say, oh, you know what, this actually is monetizable. And then I have to wait 2 days. So if I upload the video right now, this morning, the third version of it, because I uploaded 2, because after everybody made me notified me that the volume sucked, I uploaded it again and tried to do it that way, and it didn't work. But if I upload it again, you will see that video in 2 days from now. So you will get that video again Monday. That's all I can do. I can't correct it in the editing studio on YouTube, which is a joke. You can't do half the things that you normally could do in a standalone editing software. But that's where it is. Now, with StreamYard, the issue with StreamYard in YouTube is right now I am streaming on StreamYard, and it's sending that signal to YouTube, and then YouTube is showing it to everybody out there on the actual platform. YouTube is not set up for third-party software to be able to stream. They have their own streaming software, and there is a difference between their software and the software here. They're not compatible all the time. So you might be doing a stream and then lose audio. You might be doing a stream and not be able to do a split screen where you're sharing a screen with somebody else. You may be doing a stream and have a couple other errors that have in common, like if you can't show an external website on the StreamYard and stream it to YouTube. You can see it perfectly on your end, but it won't stream to the people who are actually watching. All they'll see is just a blank screen there. Again, we're at the mercy of YouTube and a lot of this stuff happens, and there's nothing that we can do about it. YouTube will fix it, It may take a week. It could take a month. It could take 2-3 years before they actually will fix it. I mean, there's a lot of people out there like myself who are still waiting to get the merchandise shelf underneath your videos where you can buy like t-shirts and stuff like that from our fan stores, where you don't have to then click to another website. It just brings up a separate side window and you can still watch your video and, browse through the fan store. I qualified for that, I don't know, almost a year and a half ago. And so have a lot of my friends. They said they were slow rolling it out, and that slow roll stopped. They absolutely stopped doing it. And now they're starting it again in the second wave of it. And they're telling me now that I may have it by December. Yay! But in their infinite wisdom, you can't fight with them. Who are you going to go to? There's no other platform out there like YouTube, where you're going to get the traffic. Yeah, sure, there are places where you can stream, like Twitch and so on, where you can have content uploaded, but nothing's going to compare with the amount of traffic that you're going to see on YouTube. So that's my rant about what's going on with YouTube. I hope that makes sense to everybody. It sucks. You are absolutely right. Inner Peas, and good morning. Scroll up here. I'm pretty sure I missed some stuff. Good morning, Beach Bum. Gayla, good morning. Inner Peas, good morning. Very smoky in Sacramento. I hope it's not as bad as it is here, Gayla. We're at 3.7 particles per 10, which is the third worst air quality right now where I live right here. I hope it's better where you guys are, because all those wildfires from California and from Oregon, and then ones here in Washington State, all that smoke went out to the ocean, and then the wind current changed, so now it's blowing it right back in up through the gorge, and then right at us where I live. Yellow Lemons, good morning. RN Student Forensics, good morning, everyone, and good morning to you. Mary T, crazy. Is it buffering? Sorry, sweetheart. There's nothing I can do about that. Wish I could. Richard, good morning. How's the hand? The hand feels okay. It's just occasionally it's still bleeding. I popped out I was working here in the garage. I was helping my daughter refinish a table. And I popped 2 of the 4 stitches out by mistake. I whacked it on the door while we were trying to carry the table in here. But then I went back and they put butterflies and this glue stuff on it. That held for about a day, and then it started bleeding again. So I just have to keep on wearing this because it has I wad up a good amount of like cotton on the top of it, so it's putting pressure on it. So the guy told me to do that and to keep it dry, not to get it wet. So when I take a shower, I put a bag around my hand, and so I don't get water on it. I can see you, K-Love. I haven't seen you go anywhere. The Foo, loving the flag back there. That one or this one? But thank you anyways, Zafu. One's a memorial to my friend. The other one's just the American flag on the flagpole. All right. So, for those who tried to watch the Lori Vallow's video yesterday and couldn't because the audio sucked, again, not my fault. Because believe me, and me and my wife, every time we do a video, the first thing we always do is the first thing before we ever start filming a video is we always do a light and audio sound check every time. Never skip it. It's very important. To see what it do, like even 5 seconds of a video, just see what the lights look like and everything else. I have it pretty dark in here right now because I had kind of a headache this morning when I woke up. But anyways, going back at Lori Vallow. So yesterday, Lori, she had, the other day, she had court in front of Judge Dane H. Watkins Jr. The total court proceedings were about 14 minutes, but you cut out all the fluff about, hi, this is Lori, I'm her attorney, this is the judge, blah blah blah, these are the charges. You cut out all that, and it's only about 5, almost 6 minutes worth of actual video there's anything of interest in that. But she was in front of Dane H. Watkins Jr. She pled not guilty to the 2 felonies of one felony of concealment of evidence and 1 count of conspiracy to conceal evidence. And the interesting part of that is that she has requested a trial by jury, not a bench trial where it would just be the judge ruling on her innocence or guilt. She has decided that she wants an actual trial by jury by 12 of her peers, which is not going to be good for Lori. Nothing's going to be good for Lori because from what I know and what I've read, it's going to be very easy for them to at least prove the concealment of evidence charge against her. That's a felony. So if she gets the maximum on that, that's almost 10 years in prison, out in 7.5. Trial date. The pretrial date has been set tentatively for March 22nd of next year. The trial date has tentatively been set for April 2nd. I don't think either one of those are going to happen on those dates. They're going to get the pretrial date may happen. It's more likely that one will happen, and then they're going to ask for a continuance or something. Something's going to move that trial date out even farther. I don't think the actual trial itself for Lori or Chad, for that much, will happen much before the end of June of next year. And that's how long they're just going to sit there in jail and basically talk to each other through their porthole, I guess, or whatever the hell they're doing. So it was good for you, Gayla. Yeah, most inmates do like it, and they, depending upon what their charges are, Gayla, a lot of them get to go into court and they actually get to see their loved ones in the stands, not in the stands, but in the gallery. All right, but anyways, moving on. The clock starts ticking as of yesterday. For the next 60 days, there are certain things that Lori Vallow's attorney needs to do. He's on the clock, basically. He has 60 days to file certain motions to have certain things. If he wants the trial to be moved from one county to another, he needs to file that motion. If he wants to file, believe me, and this is nauseating as much as it is, after yesterday's pre-trial, and her arraignment, basically, where she pled not guilty, he now has not 1 but 2, but most likely he'll only use 1. He can ask for a bail reduction again. After yesterday, he can now ask again, say circumstances have changed with her, and ask for a bail reduction. And so he needs to file a motion to get a hearing on bail reduction. He can also request that and file a motion that any statements that Lori made from the moment she was arrested in Hawaii and transporting back not be used in the trial at all. He can file those motions. He has to, and the reason why normally you would file that, up at closer to the jury point itself, but because of the extradition from Hawaii to Idaho, he has to file that within the first 60 days. Normally, otherwise, you would have all the way up to the actual court date and say, look, I don't want anything that she said while she was in Honolulu jail or anywhere else in that point where she was transported. I don't want her any of that being used against her. You know, even though I came on as her attorney afterwards, she had legal counsel there, and she didn't waive her rights. Any statements that she made or anything that she may have done, you know, from that point when she was arrested in Hawaii and then extradited back, he can ask for all that to be thrown out. Not that I think that she did, because she's pretty, you know, smart up here. She's an idiot, but she's pretty smart, you know, when it comes to certain things like that. Now, the other part was I don't believe the statement, and in the video yesterday, you can go back and click on the link. It is a story from a lady who spent 4 days in jail with Lori. I think that there are two things with that. One, when there's a high profile case like, you know, the Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell or Chris Watts or anybody, you know, if there's any high profile case that happens like this, people want to attach themselves to the case. They want that fame, that notoriety. They want people to look at them. They want to feel important. So they attach themselves in any way they can to either Chad or to Lori, or if they have an inside source or they knew them when they grew up. There are people like that that are coming out of the woodwork, and we're going to see a whole lot more of them. You know, the third cousin twice removed of, you know, the guy who once dated Lori's brother from down at Tasty Freeze is going to come forward and say that she has a little bit of tidbit, you know, information about Lori and her relationship with you know, her church. She's going to want to come forward and, you know, see if anybody wants to talk to her. I mean, there are things like that. They're going to come out through the woodwork. But I don't believe this lady's statement, because there are certain things that just don't mesh with what is known and what we know about Lori herself and what we know about the actual transportation and how Lori was transported from point A to point B. So I don't believe it. I think she was definitely, and I can confirm, and so can other people. You can confirm that she definitely was in the same jail as Lori and in the same housing pod as Lori for at least 4 days. Did she talk to her? I don't know. Did she ever have any, you know, conversations with her? Did she eat with her at the same table? I don't know. I don't know any of that. And there's no way to confirm it. And she wasn't there, you know, walking by in the driveway late at night either. So, all right. Moving on. I got those out of the way. Me rambling away. I definitely missed a bunch of the. Oh, thank you, Soccer Mom One. Me and my friends, you know, we did a pretty good job, I think, with the background, the walls. You know, I wish I could show everybody the ceiling. On the ceiling, there's the sound deadening tiles on the ceiling. So this is actually like, so it's like this. I'm in right here in the corner here of the studio. There. How about if I point at the actual camera? So it's 1, 2, and then 3 walls, and I'm like right here in this corner. So this table is actually like an L. So it goes like this and then out that way. And I'm at this one corner of it. So there's a table runs this way as well. So it's running this way and that way. And we're going to turn it once we get the floor done, because that's the next part. But so the one end over here is open, and that leads all the way to the door and the windows, and then to everything else, the refrigerator, stove. Well, it's not a stove, it's a cooktop thing. I don't know why I bought it, but I bought it at a yard sale. And I got a table over there to put it on. You know, so and I had a friend who came in and helped me with the electrical. It took a while because he lives on the other side of the state, and every time he came into town to, excuse me, I don't know why I'm coughing so much this morning. It's probably all the smoke in the air. But every time he came into town to visit his family, he would come by and we do a little bit more of the electrical. So we darn near completely rewired this entire space in the span of, it took about 2 months. And then we spray insulated all the walls with the spanning foam stuff. And then the wood, and then we did the ceiling, and that's got insulation on the top of it, which makes the the heating and cooling in here a heck of a lot easier. So I don't have to run like 5 different fans or a wood stove or anything. I thought about actually putting in like a little tiny like fireplace thing. I think that adds an ambience. But I think we did a pretty good job for a bunch of guys who just kind of here and there, piece by piece by piece. Good morning, Rupal. Sorry I missed you. I'm yapping away here. Yesterday's video was fine for Gala. I heard Gala. I heard from a lot of people that the audio sucks, and on my end, when I go and watch it, the volume is about 10, maybe 20% of what it should be. And when I crank it on my end, and the excuse me. Excuse me. Very sorry about that. But then the video quality, if you actually look at the outline, if you just pause it and look at the actual frame of the video, the quality of the video is not that great. It's like right now, we're on a webcam right now, but normally I shoot these videos on my Canon, and that's in 4K HD Ultra or whatever it is, 4K. Are they still talking to each other? Soccer Mom wants to know about Chad and Lori. They can communicate with each other. They can call each other. They can't video chat with each other because the video chat service doesn't go from jail to jail. It goes from jail to outside. You can go to like the lobby, and there's other places where you can dial up and get onto it from like Zoom. It's a system that's kind of like Zoom, if you're familiar with Zoom. But they can call each other. They can write each other. So, yes. And one of the main reasons why the judge wants to combine, not the judge, but the DA wants to combine the 2 cases is because there's the likelihood is, as this gets closer and closer and into the trial, that Lori's going to want to roll. She's going to want to save her own ass, because you have to think about who Lori Vallow is. In her entire life, she has avoided conflict, and whenever things got tough for her, she ran away. She walked away from everything in her life that ever got tough. And whenever something came push to shove, she would, if she had to, she'd just, she'd do whatever that she had to do to save her own ass. So combining it, it's a very good likelihood that she'll do that. Hopefully, Rod Wood will bring murder charges to both. I don't know. That's the $1 million question: is why they haven't filed murder charges yet on either Lori or Chad. And I don't know why they haven't. Maybe there's something there that we don't know, where they, it'd be hard to prove murder charges on either one of the 2. Maybe it was all Alex, and Alex acting by himself. I highly doubt it. I mean, if anything, I think Lori put him up to it. Chad, came up with the theory that they were all zombies and dark spirits and they needed to be taken out. Lori then stoked that fire, and then, Alex was like, oh my God, we have to get rid of him. And then he did it. And then Chad was the main person who decided, well, I have to save Lori. I have to save us from this. And so he disposed of the bodies. But I think right around that time period, though, Lori knew exactly what he did. If she didn't know beforehand, she had to know what was going to happen. When she called Melanie Gibb and told her that her children were zombies, and then when Melanie came to the home and said, look at JJ, he's acting all strange. He's a zombie. I told you he was a zombie. When that happened, from that moment on, Lori had to know exactly what the next part was. Everybody who had been labeled a zombie, she knew had to die. And everyone, because they couldn't move on to the next level of enlightenment until they left their bodies here. She knew it. That was Chad's teachings. Gayla, did I get rid of all the flies? I have maybe 2 of them in here now. I got rid of most of them. I bought one of those ultrasonic things that you plug into the outlet, electrical outlet, like this one here. That's why it's nothing plugged into it. I don't even have one of those little plastic caps on. I got to put one of those on to stop my son from sticking things in it. I bought those on Amazon, and they're only good for mice and certain rodents. They're not. It says right on there, does not work for gnats, flies, mosquitoes. And I'm like, crap. Well, there's $17 I'm not going to get back. But so I then put a couple bug bombs in here, bug bomb the crap out of everything. Then I had to come in and clean everything off because it left like a white powdery stuff on everything. So I had to clean that up because I have right here. This is it's a laptop. It's for my son. In the afternoon, he sits here and works on his ABCs and his numbers and colors on here while I sometimes are answering emails and stuff like that. It's almost impossible for me to answer, comments that people are leaving on videos because I'm dealing with, and I am the school teacher for a 4-year-old, Monday through Friday. So I can't get onto YouTube and answer questions and I think it's been 2 weeks since I've been on the Facebook group. I had to let all that stuff kind of slide on by while I spending time with my son and working with him. And truth be known, I'd rather spend time, with him and helping him learn his ABCs and stuff than answering questions that I've answered 1,000 times already on a lot of videos. So I'm really sorry, everybody, but I'm coughing and wheezing and everything over here. It's pretty bad here. I can't see across my yard. That's how bad the smoke is here. How am I doing? You sneezed? Yes, I did. Yeah, it is pretty icky. I see you. Good morning. Sorry I missed you before. Karen, good morning. Sharon, Thomas. Atlantic Tide Crimes. Good morning. Anyone with a criminal record in Canada can not communicate with anyone in jail or parole. However, Carla, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, wrote to a male prisoner while he was doing 13 years in Julia prison. If you have a DUI, a driving under the influence, you cannot go to Canada. I found that out with my friend. We were four guys. We were all going up to Canada to go fishing, and we we went through the customs thing there, the border control point, and he had a DUI from like 6 or 7 years prior that wouldn't let him into Canada. Yeah. Lavender oil will stop the flies. I see you. I did not try lavender oil. Tried citronellus. I tried. Can't remember what that other stuff is. I don't have it anymore. I threw it away. Bug away or something like that. It's like a spray you buy in the store. It comes out in a fine mist, kind of like Febreze. Tried that. That didn't work. But I got rid of most of them. I don't know why they want to be in here anyways. There's never any food in here. They're just pests. I hate flies. Flies and ants. Can't stand them. Inner peas zombie. She planned it all. I really do believe that, you know, Lori knew a lot more than we know about. And I think that there are other people out there who were definitely targeted besides Tammy and Charles Vallow and Joseph Ryan. I think that there were other people in their lives that either Lori had planned before she, you know, to get rid of before she met Chad, or after, that, you know, like their own vendetta list. And, you know, by the grace of God, that, you know, and I don't think she realized it then, but I bet you she realizes it really, you know, really does now, is Melanie Gibb. She is lucky she got away from her when she did, because everybody who has stayed close to that circle is either dead or was on some kind of hit list. I mean, and even her niece, Melanie Pulowski. I mean, she didn't like her first husband. They tried to kill him, Brandon. You know, how much longer was going to be before they decided that, you know, her own niece was on the hit list. You know, that she went from, you know, a bright spirit to a dark spirit. It's insane. And yet people stuck around. That's the part that makes no sense up here at all. It's like, what? Why would you even want to be near people like that? How far am I from the fire, Richard? About 6 miles. That's where the nearest one is. We have the Crest Canyon Fire, which is about 6 miles from me. I mean, where we are, if you look at a map of Washington State, I'm down here, and the fires are all up around this way, and then all up around this way. So we're in the center with everything around us burning right now. Farmland to the west of us is burning. Farmland to the east and to the north, and then the only thing, well, south of me is the Columbia River. And then everything on the other side of the Columbia River, Salem, you know, and Eugene, in that area, that's all on fire. So I guess I'm right in the middle of it. I'm on the outskirts of town, so it's kind of it's a subdivision, kind of like all the homes here were built in 1944. To find newer homes, you have to go into the hills area. You know, or to another city all together. But where I live, there were homes that were between here and downtown, but those are all gone, and they put in parks and stuff like that. So we're kind of like a subdivision area. It's not a gated community, but I am definitely in the middle. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Beach bum by saying that, but wear a mask when you're outside. People who were absolutely against wearing a mask because they said that it was stupid. They were never going to wear a mask, you know, to protect themselves from the COVID, because COVID was a lie. They ain't going to do it. So that's what they were saying, not me. But they're saying they're never going to do it. They're taking away my constitutional rights by making me wear a mask. All of those people are now wearing masks because they can't breathe outside because of the damn smoke. And I was like, why don't you just wear a mask and be a decent person? But now they didn't want to be a decent person and protect themselves and others. And they're like, if you're wearing a mask, why do I have to wear one? You're protecting yourself from me, and I'm protected from with you and your mask. All those idiots are now wearing masks because you can't breathe outside. It's not that bad in here or in my house. I mean, I have the AC on, and we're doing the best we can to scrub the air. I have it's called Mr. Cool. It's a ductless AC and heating unit that we put in over here above the door. It's running right now. You can't even hear it. I can't hear it. Then again, I'm going deaf, so comes with old age. Yeah, it's close. Good, Lori. Good morning, Lori. Our rules of law can be pretty heavy for sure. I'm afraid of customs officers. My wife got me kicked out of Canada because what she said to a customs officer. It was a long time ago. Well, I got to think about this. 22? It's got to be 22 or 23 years ago. I don't know if I ever told everybody this story. So, me when I first started dating my wife, my girlfriend at the time, her mom, her dad, so the four of us used to go camping up and down the Pacific coast from San Diego all the way up to just before Bellingham, Washington. There are a series of beaches that are on the West Coast that don't have names. And they're tiny little beaches here and there, and they're just numbered. Beach 1, Beach 2, all the way to like Beach 50. And we would go up and down the West Coast of the United States, the Pacific Coast, and we would just go to see, these beaches and have our pictures taken in front of a stupid little plaque that says beach number 31. It was something to do. It didn't cost a lot, and we went camping most of the time, either in the some forest or some KOA campground or whatever. But it was a way for us to all get away. On one particular trip, we were up by Bellingham, I believe it was, or somewhere up there, toward just before the Canadian border, and we went to. Did some sightseeing, and while we were in one town, we ended up finding a Native American reservation, like tobacco and alcohol store. So we went to the store and we bought cigarettes and knickknacks and snacks and stuff like that. And we had them in the truck with us, and we saw a sign that said that they had a ferry that was going over to I think Bushard Gardens or some garden or something. It was like a kind of like a tourist trap thing. It's like you got a ferry ride, you got transportation to the zoo, and then you got lunch and everything else with it. We're like, that sounds like fun. Let's do that. So we take the ferry. We're on the ferry, and they had clams and something else like a bake right there on the ferry itself. It was a great trip. We go over, we get there, and we were going through customs, and my mother-in-law goes through, my father-in-law goes through, I go through, and then I look back, and my wife is standing there, girlfriend at the time, standing there talking to the customs officer, and I'm like, what's going on? So I start walking back up, so I can't go all the way back through. I can go all the way up to where the little booth area is there by the ferry terminal where she's talking to him, and we're all still inside the building itself. And my wife, I hear her tell the customs officer, I think I have contraband. They locked down the entire thing of everybody going through into Canada. They closed the doors, they locked it all, and they thought that she was a drug mule. No, nope. There's a sign on the wall that says you know, coming into Canada, you can only bring enough cigarettes for your own personal use. And my wife never was really a cigarette smoker, but she bought I think 2 or 3 packs of like those clove cigarettes, and she tells the custom officer that that's more than she could use for her own personal use, and she has them all in her purse. So after about an hour of making sure, interviewing us all individually to make sure that, you know, that we're not drug mules or making this poor girl, you know, be the drug mule for us, and then opening up the customs, you know, and it screwed up this entire, like, you know, bus trip and to the people going to the zoo or wherever they were going. I think it was the Point Defiance Zoo or some zoo or Bushart Gardens. I can't remember exactly where it was supposed to be going. After all that, it screwed up everybody's vacation. They politely asked us to get back on the ferry and go back to the United States. So they put my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, myself, and my soon-to-be wife back on the ferry, and we were the only ones besides the actual ferry crew on the ferry for the return trip back. And it was the last run of the day where it goes over for this thing. Well, she got kicked out of Canada. Yeah, well, I'm not too worried about having to evacuate where we are, Richard. Um, we're in a pretty much the city, but I mean right now if I step outside, it is everywhere. It is orange, and everything is covered with ash. But we're going to stay safe. My mother says the virus is fake. One of those no mask for him, or around our 93-year-old mother. Well, there are people out there like that, here, P. I've met a couple of them that don't believe it. Canadians can't shop on a reservation, no tax. There's a lot of people here that do it. A lot of people go to the reservation. Good morning, Leave It to Beaver. My sister died 9/11, 16. Also, my police partner's birthday. He retired yesterday. Just exceptionally sad this year. Yeah. I lost a good family friend in Tower Number 2. My friend's dad died in Tower Number 2. It was just we'll never forget. But I'm sorry for your loss, Gayla. My police partner's birthday. He retired yesterday. Time to move to central or east. You know, we never have fires like this in Wisconsin. Thing's too green there. Here, everything is but I mean, this has been something that we've known. You have to be a complete idiot not to know that this was going to happen. It was just waiting to happen because everything has been so dry out here. It has been so long since we've had any real good rainfall, and then when we do get rainfall, we'll get like 2 inches of rain all at once. and then nothing for 60 days. And that 2 inches just washes off the topsoil and of everything, and it runs out and it fills into the creeks and rivers, and it doesn't actually absorb into the ground. So we knew the fire, season was going to be bad, and it's an actual season here. We actually call it a season here. Like you may have your winters and your summer. We have winter, fall, and fire season where we live. We only have 3 seasons, and one of them is fire season. Why is the screen blinking? See my TU license to dance. I don't know. Has anybody else seen it flicker or blinking? I don't see it on my end. I'm right now. The stream says it's 4 out of 4 bars right now on the stream. Router across the room is 7 out of 9. So it's got two not lit up bars. Now it's 8. So I'm broadcasting. It says it's got a good signal. I don't know. See, hopefully it's not on my end, but I don't know. Some days I just give up on this entire thing, of YouTube and StreamYard. It's like all I'm trying to do is just, have a conversation with people. Stardust, how is Will doing today? I'm doing okay. Smoky. Overall, I guess I'm doing good. I got no plans to go outside and do anything outside. Thank you, Leave It to Beaver. I appreciate it. I was talking about this earlier. For a bunch of idiots, me and my friends, we cobbled it all together, a little bit here, a little bit there. But I think we did a pretty good job for putting this all together. And some of it we've never done before. We've never, done spray insulation. It would have been easier to buy roll insulation and put it in the walls, but Nick, the only thing left is the floor. We're going to hopefully get that tackled in a week or so from now, because I'm actually going to raise the floor. What are they? They're not 1-bys. They're 1x2s. That are pressure treated. We're gonna lay them across the entire floor to circumference, and then we're going to spray foam. Well, we're gonna lag bolt them down into the floor. Then we're back up. So there's a rubber membrane that goes down underneath the 2x4 or 2x1x2s or whatever the hell they are. That membrane goes down first, then the pressure treated lumber goes on top of it. And then we're gonna lag bolt down through that, and then in between it all, we're going to spray foam, and then we're going to put hardwood flooring over the top of it all. But the floor is the only part of this entire studio that hasn't been completed. It's costly. We're getting there, though. No flickering there. What state are you in? I'm in Washington State, Lola Sierra. I'm surrounded by fire. Gale of dense and no rain in NoCal, Northern California. It's dark and there's ash all over my patio, tables and chairs. Oh, it's terrible here, Gale. I've cleaned off. I took the hose and sprayed off all the patio and the entire patio and all the patio furniture and everything else. And then like an hour later, it just looked like I hadn't done anything at all. It's just terrible. Well, I agree that between the internet and just the technical difficulty, streaming sometimes is impossible. Yeah. We're at the mercy basically when it comes to these companies and what they want to do. And we had a internet outage. We had where I live in this area. You have two choices when it comes to internet. You can either one go with Spectrum, then they suck. They absolutely suck. Or your second option is dial-up service through Frontier or whatever company name they want to call themselves in that area. Same company, no joke. They've picked 5 different names for the same company, and they for marketing in different areas of the United States. It's all the same company though. Frontier, Verizon, Clear. It's all one company though. It's all Verizon. But those are your two options. You can't get CenturyLink here. You can't get Comcast. You can't get anything here because the cities here have signed a non-competitive agreement with Spectrum cable and internet service that no one will come in and use their lines, their equipment, and compete with them here. And as a kickback, all the cities around me get free internet and free television for all city properties. You got that right. And they're very open about the entire thing. We're getting a kickback. We're getting free stuff as long as nobody can compete with them. And that's where we are. We live in an area where they have signed a non-competitive, agreement with the cities, so we can't get anything else. I mean, there is a third option. It's satellite, but you have to put in the entire thing. I think it was about $2,000 to put in the entire system through Blue Rhino. So it's a lovely system where I live. I live in a government town, and this was everything around me was controlled and operated by the U.S. government for so long, and the cities got away with stuff like this because who was going to fight the government for it? Yeah, Carrie, there is. That's been it. I have a. If I could read, I don't know if I can go back and read this or not. And said, all right. So in my studio, underneath notices, I hope you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Hope so. In my studio on YouTube. All right, this is what it says for known issues right now today, this morning. It says there is currently a bug with Facebook and with streaming that is causing the view of Facebook and other external links to show as not available. This may interrupt streaming from third-party sources. That's what it says right there on YouTube. They know that that thing has not been fixed. It has been that notice was posted on YouTube 8 days ago. Today's the 12th, so since the 4th, it has been on YouTube and it hasn't been resolved. 8 days. Everything takes forever when everybody's working remotely. Nobody is actually there at the actual YouTube, headquarters working. Everybody's remotely working. Well, who's going to go fix the actual stuff at the building? If everybody's working remotely. Yep. Refresh the page, or take the link, put it in an email, and email it to yourself, and then join through the link that way. That's how last weekend I had to join Cece's stream. Is I had to have Cece email me this. I couldn't click on it and on actual online on the StreamYard. I had to have her email me the link, and then when I went to the email, clicked on the link, and that circumvents the entire thing. And then I was able to get onto the actual stream that we were doing last week, or was it the week before? No, it was last week. Last weekend. I think there for a second. Good. I'm trying to find a comment. Karen Duffy, it floods over here in some parts, and then we told not to water our gardens during the summer. There's short of water. We're living on an island, Ireland. That's cool. My wife, my mother-in-law, and my son will be there. Hopefully next year. It all depends on how this COVID thing, works out. My daughter's going to Japan first, so she's been saving her money for that for a while. Don't know how long she's going to be there. 72 degrees now in Wilmette, CT, that's Connecticut. Not bad. That's cool. 72. I wish I was in Connecticut or someplace back east right now. Anywhere but here. I mean, I take 100-degree heat in Texas, as opposed to, not being able to breathe and going from your house to your car and just getting it. I like the smell of a good campfire, but geez, wow, this sucks because you can't get away from it anywhere. It's like right here in my studio, even with the AC working and scrubbing the air, you can smell it everywhere. I like to cook the burgers. Am I having a few beers later? Maybe. I have no plans right now to. You had a family murdered down your street, Mary? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I was trying to find the comment, that you guys are talking about. It sounds like a good idea. We just need to get Will on board. I don't know. I can't find the original comment for that. What you guys were talking about. Ricky Douglas, good morning. Stardust, Rain Dancer, good morning. So how's the weather up on your end, Rain Dancer? Is it smoky? I haven't had a chance to talk to Tim yet today, so I don't know how the smoke is doing up there. I am still here. Just turn the camera off. Karen Duffy is being distracted by someone. It even smells like smoke in Wisconsin. Cat nurse. Drama must remain on stage. Good morning. Hope you are doing well this morning. Kiki, good morning. Charlie Hunt, good morning. Hope you're doing well, sir. Orange skies. Oh, yeah, it's definitely orange skies down here, Rain Dancer. I cannot, where I am, Rain Dancer, I can't see across my yard. It's that thick. Will, you're having a party tonight, and you will be the DJ. Gayla will bring the refreshments. Maybe. I'm not sure yet. It's fall. It's fall in the air here in Dawson Creek, British Columbia. Maria, good morning. You're happy to be here, Kiki? Well, I'm happy you're here as well. It smells. It smelled electrical last night. Last night, Tim went out up there. He went to Muckleshoot's Casino. It was the last time I talked to him. It was after he went there. I haven't had a chance to check my text messages or talk to him this morning. But at least there's something for him to get away, to decompress from life right now. He's get away. And remember, everybody, I will not be doing a live stream next weekend. So you got me here now, but I will not be here next weekend. I will be gone Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, coming back late Sunday night, probably about midnight Sunday. Okay, all have to dash. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Bye for now. Bye, Soccer Mom 1. You stay safe out there. And thank you for joining us today. Peas, golf, I doubt that. I can't even breathe outside, let alone, do any kind of physical activity or walking on a golf course. That would just be terrible. But next weekend, yes, I'm playing. Hopefully there's no fires going on, but next weekend I'm playing in a charity golf tournament. The charity is actually we're raising money for an endowment fund that we set up for a little girl. She is now 6 years old. No, she was 6 then. She is now 9. 9 years old. She lost her father to cancer. So we made a promise to her and to her mother that we would set up an endowment fund to make sure that her college is paid for when she gets to that age. So every year we hold a golf tournament, and all the proceeds go into that endowment fund to pay for her college. I read about a little boy who had his dog in his lap that were not able to get away from the fire in Oregon. Yeah, I know, Kiki. I read about that myself. So sad. That I don't know if that's the same one where the mom and dad are both meta-flighted to I believe Harborview Medical Center, and they're both on life support right now. But there was a couple of cases like that where people they were surrounded. They're absolutely surrounded by fire. They couldn't get away from it. Hope you can see the trees and the smoke, Richard. I can't see across my yard right now, but hopefully, next weekend when I go to play in that golf tournament, I hope that it's cleared up by then. Hope to see the tees. Well, yeah, you can probably see the tee, but you probably can't see where the ball goes. Visibility right now outside is, I don't know, maybe 40 yards. That's about it. It's pretty damn bad outside. Everything is orange. Even the sunrise, sunset, everything is just orange and eerie. Oh, man. Zelda got evacuated. I would hope so. She's in Boring, Oregon. That's right where the fires are. Hope her their house and everything is okay. Unicorn Court next week. Can you believe it's still going on? No? Well, yes. At the same time. I just know it's terrible out there. Weather-wise, I mean. Trying to figure out how to it's not working. Trying to do split screen. Wanted to put this article up here, but it's not working. I'm clicking on it. And it's not let me split the screen. Having issues? Click here. Yes, of course I am. Thursday. So think of it. This is 2020. The article about it's from CNET, CNET, about the streaming issues with YouTube and third party services like StreamYards. I was trying to put it up, but it won't let me split the screen. I'm clicking on it. It won't let me open the split screen. For some reason, it's stuck on it on just one screen. Yeah, well, there's an article on CNET, and it basically talks about this, that for the last week that this issue has been ongoing. Ongoing technical issues with YouTube still are not resolved. Calls and messages to YouTube's analytics and customer support have yet to be answered. Well, that's pretty much normal. It takes them usually they send you a nice canned email right away, and then it takes them about a week to answer back. Hi, Will. Looks like you're in a cozy cabin today. Starfire 3? No, I'm in my studio. This is my studio now. A little bit chilly, so I got the flannel on. My favorite flannel. Yeah. Well, I think that right now with YouTube, and this is my view, is I think right now with YouTube it's growing pains, and with everything shut down because of COVID and everybody working remotely, it's hard for them to scramble to get people in to actually fix when something goes wrong. It goes wrong, and there's nobody that's there right now. So. Yeah, everything is taking twice as long to fix, but there's nothing else out there like it. You have to deal with it. It is you get most of the time when YouTube is working, it works perfectly well, and when it's not working, it's not working. What's the temperature in my area, Richard? Let's see. Right now, it is 76 degrees. 9:14 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It is 76 degrees. The feed is cutting in and out. Sorry, Michael. Nothing I can do about that. My end shows it's perfect. Well, I've got 4 bars that are showing here, and my router, again, is showing almost perfect. One bar from full. $66 degrees here because of the fire. Carrie. Good morning, Carrie. In case I didn't say good morning to you earlier, I'm sorry. But Michelle, good morning. Drama must remain on stage. It's 76 degrees in Georgia right now, and it is 12:15 p.m. there. Same temperature as here. But what, 3 hours difference back east. $65 in Michigan. But you love that weather. 65 that's a good temperature. Overcast. You can't see anything here. Deco painting and tea. No. Deco painter and tea. Sorry. Good morning from Deco Painter and Tea. Good morning, Deco Painter and Tea. I hope you are doing well this morning. Thank you for joining us for the stream. 60 Fahrenheit here. Fahrenheit. So I don't know how to convert that. I was trying to think about it. Like, I used to know. Pretty sure I did at one point. It's usually hotter here. You didn't, but I didn't either. Good morning, Sweet Will. Happy I caught you this morning. Well, thank you, Carrie. Zelda has a channel. She needs 1,000 subs to stream by phone. Can I post her link, Will? I don't rain answer. I don't think it'll. I have it set so you can, but give me a second and I will post her channel. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the link to Zelda YouTube channel. She does a terrific job over there on her channel. See when did she put up her last video? 19 hours ago. So it's been 19 hours since she posted her last video. That would be 66 degrees. Thank you, Drama. Kiki, Illinois. So she needs Zelda needs 400 more to make it to 1,000. My school is going back to only online classes. C19 has exploded all over the campus and in town, and I just found out where I work is closing back up. I'm sorry about that, Kiki. Yep, she definitely is. My son's school, they're going to go strictly online for the, I don't know, they don't have a time period. The school system didn't figure out a time period of how long they're going to be doing school online. So, but I know next Friday while I'm gone, my wife has to go to the school and pick up a what they're calling a resource bag, and it's not only a curriculum outline, but it's going to have projects and stuff like that that are in it. And then everything that we're going to do is on Zoom, and he goes 4 days a week. So 4 days a week, I have to have him awake and dressed, which is the hard part because he's 4 and he's constantly taking off his clothes and trying to run around the house naked all day. So I have to have him with clothes on, and I have to get him to sit, at the table and actually do Zoom. So that's going to be fun. For a doozy of a winter, where I am, Carrie, they're predicting that this winter is going to be colder, but less snow. I realize that's why drug testing is crazy. It's all in the metric. LOL. Duh, I should have known that. Leave it to the United States. I think we're the only developed country that hasn't moved to the metric system. London, Ontario. Well, I'm glad you could be here. Kids are partying too much. Well, thank you, Stardust, for subbing to Zelda. Where you're at, there have been much rain all week. I can't remember. No joke, Kiki. I can't remember the last time we had rain here. It has been that long. I don't remember the last time we had any rain. I'm talking about the flu and the C word. Yeah. Too soon for school? Not ready? I'm talking to my son's teacher. They're not ready. And the worst part is, from where I live, the communication with the health department and everything else, they know there are certain kids in elementary school who are not going to be able to receive the same benefits, learning benefits as other children through Zoom. And my son is one of them. And they know that. And there's absolutely nothing right now that the school system is doing to actually put forth any effort to come up with a solution of how they're going to offer the same education to children who don't learn through a computer. So we're doing everything we can on our end, and then hoping that the school system figures something out. That's got to be rough for parents of school age kids. I have a hard time keeping up with my dog. Air show on the weekend here. Going to miss it. Thank you, Karen, for subscribing to her channel. Timea Acres, where am I located? I'm located in Washington State, eastern side of Washington State. Remember when the C word meant something else? Oh, Carrie, I remember. I'm sure there's other things that the C word, stood for, but one comes to mind. One that I won't ever say. My daughter started early August in kindergarten. My grandson is in college in classes. Both have been exposed to COVID. My daughter is her nursing school because she's working on her is it LPN? But she's going to take a semester off while she's going to travel to Japan and to no next year, but not right now. But try to get a nursing license over Zoom. Do that. There's only so much you can learn from books, and then you have to learn hands-on. And they're not allowed to do any hands-on right now at all. So my son, unless it's like music or something involved in it, he doesn't really want to pay attention to it. I think he's 4. So lots of C's. My daughter is finishing her LVN schooling now. The test. Tim and I ain't far from the summer and Bonnie Lake's fire. No, you're not. Where we are here, we're surrounded all the way around us, east, west, south, north, everywhere around us. Everything's on fire. Yeah, it sucks. So hard for Adam from Marfugo. I have no idea what that is. So is Adam from Marfugo. It's hard, no hands-on experience, I know. And she's definitely dealing with that right now. I need, what is that? I don't know what that is, Kiki. What happened to my hand? I cut it. Right in the top, between where your knuckle is right here, on the top of your hand. I cut it. I got 4 stitches in it. Then I was helping my daughter refinish a table. Then I popped open 2 of them. So I went back to the non-emergency care, sat around in a waiting room full of people with probably COVID, and sat there and waited. And then they finally called me back, and they're like, well, we can't put any more stitches back in it. So they put butterfly across, I think as they called them, like these little strips, and then there's glue. They put glue on it. It's like super glue, I guess. And that worked for a couple of days, and then that, they just started flaking off, and then it started bleeding again. But it's right here. So I'll show you a hand. So it goes from about here to about here, in between the 2 knuckles. But it's at an angle, so it kind of comes over the top of the knuckle itself. I cut it with this blade. I don't know what the hell they call it. C is a nice C word. It is. Another YouTuber. Is that who Adam is? Adam from Marfugo. I'm gonna look up Marfugo. I'm gonna write that down. Marfugo. Oh, I'll check it out. I love watching other channels. You never know if you're gonna like it until you actually watch it. Coffee is a beautiful C word that I'm going to partake in right now. I'm almost out of coffee. I had to go to the store this morning because we were out of bacon. So, and on the way, I stopped by this cheap, gas station coffee, but I didn't make any coffee. That coffee that's in the coffee pot behind me is left over from like 2 days ago. I got Black Rifle coffee in the house. Okay, headed for your Keurig. Cream or sugar? Sorry, folks. Gotta go. Have a nice weekend. Bye, NRP. Thank you for joining us. You stay safe out there. And I won't be here next weekend. So remember, no Saturday morning live stream next weekend. I will be out of town. So I did. I had to go ahead and save bacon. Yep. Went and picked up 2 pounds of center cut hickory smoked bacon this morning. It's from a small independent butcher that we try to support as much as we can, but most of the time the only time you can find them is when they sell their stuff at farmers markets, stuff like that. But we'd happen to know that they were selling it through a co-op store here locally this weekend. So I went down and picked up 2 pounds from them this morning. JLC, we will miss you. Well, hug from my brain and my body. The coffee, Rain Dancer, donuts and coffee for all. Don't you think you should be ready to leave fire 6 miles away, packing up, waiting until 200 feet? Where I am right now, it'd have to jump the river first off to be a threat, and the fire is actually moving from, well, what's south of me is moving towards the west, moving that way through the canyon fire. So where I am, I'm pretty safe right now. I mean, if it changes, I don't know where I'd go. I mean, I guess we could go in town, but there's nothing you can really do because, I mean, it's all the way around you. Okay, Snookerdoodle's coming. I love Snookerdoodles. Or good ma. Good morning. 1 second. Morning, Carolina girl. Coffee is brewing, Carrie's. Always have emergency bags packed and ready. I taught that course at the Academy of Cadets. I have a gala next to the front door. We have our go bags. It is what we call them. But it's one of those things where it's not necessarily for fire, but it's like, whenever something comes